who killed an Everett police officer is now in the hands of the jury. Deliberation is now underway in the case against Richard Rocha.
The man faces several charges for the murder of Officer Dan Rocha. It happened in the middle of the day at a Starbucks parking lot.
Well, Fox 13's Frankie Thompson joins us from the Snohomish County Courthouse with more on how today's closing arguments went.
The biggest question the jury is deliberating on is if Rocha intended to shoot Officer Rocha. Prosecutors say yes because he shot the officer 5 times, 3 of those point blank in the head. But the defense argues his mental health and drug intoxication that day impacted his decision to shoot.
It is time that he is held to account for the violence that he committed on March 25th, 2022.
Closing arguments in the trial against Richard Rocha, who shot and killed Everett police officer Daniel Rocha.
We're not here to dispute whether Mr. Rocha killed Officer Rocha on that terrible day in the Starbucks parking lot.
Rocha's body camera, key evidence in the trial, showing everything from that fateful day. Just placing an order at Starbucks in Everett, Rocha saw Rocha moving guns between 2 cars in the parking lot. Rocha, in full uniform, turns on his body camera to check it out.
3461. Hey, how's it going? You guys doing? I'll leave the guns alone.
But within 8 minutes of Rocha approaching Rocha in the parking lot, Rocha shoots Rocha 5 times. Moments before the deadly shots, videos from different angles show Rocha trying to fight off Rocha from detainment and keep his right hand free, which he ultimately used to grab the gun. State prosecutors say investigators found guns, several rounds of bullets, and illegal drugs with Rocha, reasons why they argue the suspected drug dealer intentionally pulled the trigger.
If he didn't premeditate the murder when he lied and concealed the gun, he certainly premeditated the murder of Dan Rocha when he put his hand on the handle of that weapon and he withdrew that weapon and he put that weapon into the officer's trunk and he pulled the trigger. When he shot a second round that went through his shoulder, and then when he placed the gun against the left side of his head and he squeezed that trigger 3 more times.
As Rocha wipes his tears after watching the videos, state prosecutors say the evidence points to this being a premeditated murder. But the defense argues that's not the case here, reminding the jury about the testimony of Rocha's mental health diagnosis of PTSD, brain injury, and illegal drug intoxication.
It is when there is a physical struggle, it is when the stress of that event develops, that the mental health issues you heard about take over. There was no plan. There was no moment in time to think and decide what to do. It was reactionary and fast and impulsive, which are just the symptoms of his mental health disorders.
Rocha's mental state isn't the only thing his defense asked the jury to consider when determining his level of intent.
And let's be honest, the law enforcement community wants you to treat this as a perfect case. They want you to convict him of aggravated murder. It's not a subtle pressure here, it's a real pressure. But pressure is not evidence.
If convicted on premeditated murder, Rocha could be sentenced to life in prison without parole. If not, he could still be found guilty on the lesser charges. Deliberations continue Monday morning. Reporting in Everett, Frankie Thompson, Fox 13 News.